Welcome to Science 6 Module 7 of Quarter 2. Our lesson is centered on the protection and conservation of ecosystem. This video was designed and developed to help you identify ways and understand the needs to protect and conserve our ecosystem. Before we proceed, let us first understand the meaning of ecosystem. Do you have any idea? Well, ecosystem is an environment where both living and non-living things exist and interact with one another. Examples of ecosystem are the tropical rainforests, coral reefs, and mangrove swamps. To know more about our lesson, let us try to identify the kind of ecosystem in the following pictures. The first picture shows a forest kind of ecosystem. As we can see, tall trees and grasses are present in the picture. The second picture appears to be an aquatic kind of ecosystem. It shows different kind of coral reefs. The third picture displays a seabird kind of ecosystem. There is the presence of mangrove trees. These ecosystems need to be protected and conserved. We must give importance to these ecosystems because they provide us with our necessities. A tropical rainforest ecosystem is simply an area where tall, mostly evergreen trees grow. High amount of rainfall is also experienced in this ecosystem. Our locality is surrounded by majestic mountains, where we can find lots of evergreen trees and grasses. We also experience a period of rainy weather that maintains the forest vegetation for animals and humans to consume. We consider the mossy forest along the new highest elevation of the Philippine highway system as tropical rainforest. It is a sad fact that humans have many impacts on tropical rainforest. 1.5 lands of these rainforests are destroyed every second, about 72 million land per year, due to human activities. The role of humans in the deforestation of the world's forests is considerable and extensive. Many activities contribute to this loss, including subsistence activities, oil extraction, logging, mining, fires, war, commercial agriculture, cattle ranching, hydroelectric projects, pollution, hunting and poaching, the collection of fuel wood and building material, and road construction. Some conservation organizations are promoting tree planting to replace the trees that have been cut down. There are others as well promoting to stop deforestation all over the world. In our locality, it is very evident that deforestation is rampant because of agricultural purposes. Many trees were cut down and forests were burned using the kaingin system of agriculture. However, the local government unit of Tinog, together with other government and non-government agencies, including our school, are doing their best to address such issues. You are also encouraged to plant trees even in your backyard. Did you know that the knowledge and skill in planting trees and fruit-bearing trees is beneficial to the family? Yes, because it provides them food, which is known as subsistence farming, and it also gives additional income, which is known as cash cropping. A family who planted trees in their backyard or with orchard farm in their community can really save up money because they will no longer buy the food which is readily available in their yard. An environment with various trees and fruit-bearing trees reduces stress and improves emotional well-being. Planting is a way of spending your leisure time in a healthier way and contributes to a pleasant environment. Most Filipino families venture themselves in planting trees and fruit-bearing trees. This adds to the food supply of our country. If there are more productions of trees and fruit-bearing trees, many will benefit from it. Aside from it is cheaper, we can also supply other areas of the country. Here are some ways to protect and conserve the tropical rainforest ecosystem. Number 1. Reforestation or tree planting in forest. Number 2. Avoid illegal activities like cutting of trees, burning of forest, or kaingin, and killing wild animals. Number 3. Support government projects that protect wild animals. Tropical rainforest, if not protected and conserved, these harmful effects will arise. Number 1. No more habitat for wild plants and animals. Number 2. Global climate cannot be maintained. Number 3. Raw materials for construction and furniture will be reduced. And number 4. Soil erosion and flooding will occur in low-lying areas. Coral reef ecosystem. Did you know that coral reefs are one of the oldest ecosystems on Earth? There are almost 1 million fish and other species that depend on coral reefs for survival. 500 million people rely on coral reefs for their food and extracurricular activities. What is causing destruction to the coral reefs? We have global warming, excessive fishing using inhumane fishing methods, scuba divers and their equipment, pollution from oil spills, pesticides runoff, sewage and sediment from construction. If the present rate of destruction continues, 70% of the world's coral reef will be destroyed by the year 2050. What would life be like if the coral reefs were completely destroyed? Is there something that we could do? Conserve water. Help reduce pollution. Use only ecological or organic fertilizers. Dispose of your trash properly. Plant a tree. Here are additional ways to protect and conserve the coral reef ecosystem. Number 1. Do not use dynamite in fishing. Number 2. Do not throw waste materials in bodies of water. Number 3. Avoid using nets with small holes in fishing. Coral reef's ecosystem must be protected and conserved. If not, the following harmful effects will arise. Number 1. Many fish and other marine animals will lose their habitat. Number 2. Underwater activities like snorkeling and diving will no longer be enjoyed. Number 3. Strong waves and tides might be formed and destroy coastlines. Mangrove swamp ecosystem. Mangrove swamp ecosystem is composed mostly of mangrove plants and animals like crustaceans and migratory birds. It is an important system that allows for the breeding of fishes and survival of other marine animals. It is also a part of coastal and marine ecosystems. Mangroves grow only in tropics and subtropics. They do not tolerate cold temperatures well, and freezing temperatures will kill them. Mangrove roots provide a filtering system for runoff from the guts of our islands, allowing the sediments to be removed before entering open water. These sediments would otherwise cover and kill coral reef colonies. Although mangroves filter some pollutants, they can be irreparably damaged by oil spills and herbicides in particular. Loss of mangroves could also severely impact economies that rely on tourism and fisheries. More projects to replant mangroves are underway around the world, but there is still a long way to go before this ecosystem is protected. Here are some ways to protect and conserve mangrove swamp ecosystem. Number 1. Do not build fish pond near mangrove swamps. Number 2. Join government activities like Kontra Kalat sa Dagat. Number 3. Tell other children the importance of mangrove swamps. Mangrove swamps must be protected and conserved. If not, the following harmful effects will arise. Number 1. Different species of seashells and freshwater animals will lose their breeding and nesting grounds. Number 2. There will be fewer barriers from strong water flow on coastlines. And number 3. Sources of livelihood for people will be affected. Today, tropical rainforests, coral reefs, and mangrove swamps are disappearing from the face of the globe. Despite growing international concern, these are continuing to be destroyed. This destruction have a global impact through species extinction, the loss of important ecosystem services and resources. However, this destruction can be slowed, stopped, and in some cases, even reversed. Here are some general ways to protect and conserve these natural resources. Habitat restoration, reforestation or planting a tree, mangrove rehabilitation, wildlife conservation, which includes protecting a sanctuary where animals live, supporting projects of the government and non-government organizations that protect tropical rainforests, coral reefs, and mangrove swamps, joining organizations that conduct educational campaigns and give information on how to protect and conserve our ecosystem. Being responsible to the development and restoration of Earth's resources like the tropical rainforests, mangrove swamps, and coral reefs is a key for the long-term benefits to mankind. In 2001, President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo signed into law Republic Act 9147 with the title Wildlife Resources Conservation and Protection Act. This law aims to conserve and protect wildlife species and their habitats, control the buying and selling of wildlife, and support researches on conservation of ecosystems. There are also actions that are against this law. These are dumping of waste products, occupying a portion of important habitat, burning, logging, trading of wildlife, and hunting or possessing wildlife. A person who will violate this law can be imprisoned from 6 years to 12 years and or pay the government a fine from 100,000 pesos to 1 million pesos. If you will abide by the law, you will not be in trouble, but instead, you will help in the protection and conservation of the ecosystem. You have just viewed and listened to our discussion about protection and conservation of ecosystem. Get ready for the amazing activities provided especially for you. Always remember that there is somebody who is willing to help you in case you find difficulty in answering the activities. Your teacher or facilitator is always here for you. Believe you can, and you are halfway there. Activity 1 and 2 is a guided activity. It means that you and I will answer the following 2 activities. Let us start with activity number 1. The ecosystem is an environment where both living and non-living things exist and interact with one another. Identify what type of ecosystem is shown in each picture. Let us start with picture number 1. The correct answer is tropical rainforest ecosystem. How about picture number 2? Very good, it is a coral reef ecosystem. How about picture number 3? That's right, it is a mangrove swamp ecosystem. Let's try another guided activity. Answer with me and tally if how many correct answers did you guess. The instruction for activity number 2 is: say yes if the statement is about protecting and conserving tropical rainforest, coral reefs, and mangrove swamps, and say no if it does not. Let's try number 1. Replanting trees in the forest. Should be yes. Number 2. Striking or touching a coral reef. If your answer is no, then you are correct. Number 3. Helping organizations dedicated in protecting and conserving natural resources. If your answer is yes, you are right. Number 4. Saying no to deforestation. Yes, we should say no to deforestation. Number 5. Recycling and disposing trash properly. Yes, we should recycle and dispose our trash properly. Number 6. Cutting mangroves for property development. If your answer is no, you are very right. Did you get all the correct answer? Very good. You are ready for the assessment activity. Alright, for your assessment, read and understand the statement or questions in each number, then encircle the letter of the best answer. Always remember to keep your activity sheet clean. After answering this activity, you are instructed to check your paper. Remember that honesty is the best policy. Count the number of the correct item, then write the score on the upper right corner of your answer sheet. For those who got 8, 9, or 10 in the assessment, you will answer this enrichment activity. The direction is complete the graphic organizer by writing the possible effect of the given situation. There is already an example for your reference. For those who got 5, 6, or 7 in the assessment, you will do the reinforcement activity. The instruction is: write T if the statement is about tropical rainforests, C if it is about coral reefs, and M if it is about mangrove swamps. You can do that. For those who got 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4 in the assessment, you will do the remedial activity. The instruction is, put a check on the space before the sentence if the statement shows proper way of conserving natural resources. Leave it blank if not. For your additional activity, the instruction is to make a poster showing how to protect and conserve the ecosystem. Base your output from the rubrics of poster making provided. A hard copy is also included in your activity sheet. Here for your questions or clarifications regarding this lesson, please call or text cell phone number 0935 257 7258 or message me at Henry Jr. Balabat on Facebook Messenger. That is all for now. See you on the next video lesson. God bless and always keep safe.